Hi there, this is video 522, and it is the third round of normal distribution practice. So, really suggest that you, if you haven't already, turn off the video, do the questions, and then turn it back on, or double check the answer key. Either one is good. Make sure you check your work, right? But as always, you're not going to get that much out of watching me do the questions. Okay, I'm going to trust that you did that. All right, so it says a Math 20 instructor combined the final grades for her classes for the last 10 years. There's a total of 350 students. The mean was 62.5 and the standard deviation was 8.7. So the first thing I want to do is draw a curve to show this data. So it's not any different than all the other ones we've done. I'm going to draw myself a big old curve like that. And I'm going to divide it in half because that's where my mean is. And then I'm going to divide this half in half. And then I'm going to divide that. And then I'm going to divide there. Like that. And I smeared. Oh well. We can put frequency here. Let's put our numbers in. So the mean was 62.5. And what am I going to add? I get to add and subtract standard deviation. So I'm going to do that. I do not remember what student showed me that they did that every time, and I have adopted it since it's just so much easier. So let's put our numbers in. Where can we see that? There you go. Let's see if I put it over there. Cool. So 62.5 plus 8.7, 71.2 plus, oops, sorry, 71.2 plus 8.7 is 79.9. I have enough room for all of this to sit here. Excuse me. And you'll have to excuse my co-host you can hear in the background. That's Miss Jellybean. Now, if we're going the other direction, we start at 62.5 and we subtract 8.7. Minus 8.7. Minus 8.7. Right, and these were marks, right? Math 20 marks. There, mark it as percent. And yes, I just realized I missed my percents here. Ooh, sitting over there on the floor. That's my jelly. Okay. I just thought you needed to see my dog today, in case you were not having a great day. There's my dog. She's just a year old and a lab. And after this video, I'll take away that very loud poem. All right, so ta-da, there we go. Oh, title. All right, so what percent of the students scored over 79.9? There's my 79.9. And we want over that, so that's to the right. So we want that area. 2.35 plus 0.15 is equal to 2.5%. So 2.5% of the students scored over 79.9, which means if, never mind, I'm anticipating the next question. All right, under 53.8. So I find my line that says 50.3.8. And remember, at this point, if these numbers are not your magic nice little numbers across the bottom, something went wrong. Either your math is off or my math is off, because right now they should match. In a couple lessons, they won't anymore, but right now they have to match. So under 53.8, so that means less than that. We're going to go this way. And it's this area that we want. So that's going to be 0.15, 2.35 plus 13.5. And show, excuse me, make sure you're showing me the work all the time so that I know what's going on. And if you go back later, you know what's going on. And if there is a problem, we can actually find it. Because if you just give me an answer like 42, I'm like, where'd that come from? And you're like, I don't remember. So it's no good. So I'm just going to add that up. And I think that is 16%. All right. And then it says between 62 and 86. I'm going to use my highlighter. So there's my 62 line. And there's my 88 line. And I want the area in between. Yeah, because like with this, it's either it's above, it's below, or it's between. There's only 3 choices. So we got 34% plus 13.5 plus 2.35. I don't know. 34 plus 13.5 plus 2.35. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, the reason I said that is because if you look at what I colored in yellow, that's almost half. All it's missing is that little bitty tail there. And in fact, you could have, if I can faster, said, hey, there's half. We're not including that little tail. And you could have went 50 minus 0.15, you would have got that. Lots of ways to do these questions. All right, now, you're going, why does she keep doing these questions? They're all the same, it's boring. But notice this question said, what is percent? And if it says what percent, you look on the chart and you add up the percents. Super duper easy. This one says how many students. That's a different question. Okay. But we still start out exactly the same. So how many students scored under 71.2%? So we still find our 71.2 line. We want everything under that. So 0.15 plus 2.35 plus 13.5 plus 34 plus 34 is going to give me 84%. Yeah, it's not like I knew that answer before, but there was an easier way to do this. If you look at this, okay, so I'm looking at the green area. I don't know if you can see that's green, but what I just marked. How much is that much? That's 50%, right? Half the graph, right? Your mean is 50%. So I could have just went 50% plus 34, which is what I did to get that one. Now we want over 45.1. Starting to run out of options with my pens. Seriously, folks, if you are remotely confused, redraw the graph. If you were doing this on a test and you started writing on the graph or you made a mistake on the graph, just redraw it. It doesn't take that long. Saying that, I'm not going to redraw it. All right, there is my 41.5. And it has to be over that. So I want this area that I'm putting this delightful little curly bit. Oh, sorry, I just made weird noises. I'm sure video picked those up. So I want all of this. So 13.5 plus 34 plus 34 plus, oops, can't see what I can't see what I'm doing. 13.5 plus 2.35 plus 0.15. Plus 34. 97.5. Alrighty then. 97.5%. Whoops. I realized I haven't finished that first question. Oh well. Let's just do what we know how to do well first. Okay. So we'll figure out the percents and then we'll convert it into students in a sec. Again, with this, okay, so the curly stuff that I drew, I could have said, well, that much is 50%, and then I need to add on those two. Or I could have said the whole thing is 100%, and I just need to subtract off those two little bits that I didn't color. Whatever makes you happy, as long as you're showing me the work, any one of those is fine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you that. You could go 50% plus 13.5 plus 34, sorry, it's a weird order there, will also equal 97.5. Or I could have went 100% minus, again, 100% is the whole graph, minus these two. So there's multiple ways to get that answer. All right, the last one here, move that up a little bit, between 53.8 and 79.9. My graph is getting really, really messy. All right, 53.8, that's this one, and 79.9, that's that one. A dark area. Goodness, now you can't see it. All right, so that really dark, messy area I put in there. I feel sorry for people who just look at this answer key after, because it's a mess. So 34% plus 34% plus 13.5%. I don't know. That's 34 plus 34 plus 13.5, 81.5%. Now, I better fix what I forgot to do. I wasn't asking what percent. If these questions were up there, we'd be done. But we want to know how many students scored. So it's 84%. So 84% is 84 out of 100. And we didn't have 100 students. We had 350 students. So anytime you see a question where it gives you the total number of items in the set, beware. Pay attention whether they're asking you for what percent or how many. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, that's Jelly Bean destroying my world. All right, get out of here. Go lay down. Anyway, all you need to do is we need to first convert this. What's the easiest way to do it? There's a whole bunch of different ways. Okay, you know what? Let's do it this way. Percent means per 100. So we're going to go 84 divided by 100 times 350. Okay. And some of you going, but all I need to do is move my decimal place 2 spots. To the left, and then multiply by 350. That's exactly what it is. But be lazy. So 84 divided by 100. See, move 2 decimal places to the left. Now times 350. And we get 294 students. And that makes sense, right? There's 350 students altogether. And 84% of them, which is, pretty big amount, scored under 71.2. So 294 makes sense. If you forget, just want to show you what'll happen. If you forget to divide by 100 and you just multiply by 350, you will suddenly get 29,400 students. And you should recognize that can't be, because there was only 350 to start with. All right, just saying. Yeah, let's take a look at this one. So this one is 97.5. If you think of 97.5, that's almost all of it, right? So I don't know what the answer is, but I bet it's going to be pretty close to 350. So we're going to have to divide by 100 times 350. You see that? So 97.5 divided by 100 equals that times 350. All right, so 341.25. That is a lovely answer. We said it should be about 350, so that's great. The problem is you don't want to leave it like that. It's not 341 and a quarter students or 0.25 students. The best thing to do is, for sure there's 341 students. I think the best time, or the best choice when you're doing these, is just drop the decimal part. Just take the whole number part of the answer. For once, don't round. So even if I had 341.97 students, I would still go to 341. It's the only time that I can think of that you don't round. It's not a huge thing, but when you're talking about students or chickens or dogs or cats or anything like that, decimals don't make any sense. All right, last one, 81.5%. So I'm going to do over here, 81.5 divided by 100 times 350. By the way, you can be bored and do that. Oh, I don't know if I can do that all at once. What happens? Yes, it did work. 285.25. So 285 students. Answer. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of one of the tricks with the normal distribution curves, is when you get these questions, watch what you're being asked for. You might get the asked for percent, you might get how many, and occasionally get the questions of what number corresponds to a certain percentage. It's kind of only like 3. All right, have a great day.